Here comes the home of acrylic latex paint and stucco fillers from America, Bucks Paint. Bucks Paint. We have the best paints you would ask for. Our paints are eco-friendly and lead-free, hence it has no health threat for the family. Water resistance, withstands all kind of weather, never peels off and easy to clean. With a perfect coverage of 400 square feet per gallon, Bucks Paint has got your back. Acrylic paints are fast drying. Our latest acrylic stucco filler called Tinky Tanka helps smoothen your surface. Before painting, we have a team of professional young Gambian painters. We got you covered. Visit our stores at Sanchabo Job Junction and the Sokoto traffic lights or call 981-6182, 7868-127 or 306-9609. Email buckspaint01@gmail.com.
The problem is her husband passed away 2 years ago.
Whoa.
2 years ago, husband passed away.
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
then, she came back home, living at home, doing her thing, business and all the thing. And then she also lose her life. So the problem is those two are gone, but now they have kids. Those kids, within 2 years, they lose both of their parents. And to me, that is the most difficult thing for me to accept.
Absolutely.
These are kids. Really... People need to have compassion for each other.
Number one.
You are driving, you're lucky to have a car, good for you. Somebody who is on the roads, the pedestrians, jaywalking, people who are trying to cross the roads, have compassion.
Hello and welcome to another session of PeerTalk. We back again in session, and today with me I have Sekou.
Hey.
Welcome back, bro.
Thank you, man.
It's been a while, bro.
I know, right?
Shoot.
It's been, man. I've been missing around for a long time now.
Yeah, I know, man.
Yeah.
But you went to Gambia.
Absolutely.
So,
yes.
Yeah, it's understandable. How is Gambia?
Gambia is fine, man.
Yeah.
Sunny, nice, so yeah.
Wow.
It is.
Always, I think I was talking to somebody who was like, "Oh, today is fine. We have sun today." I'm like, "Gambia."
Is it like recently?
Yeah, because my niece, she told me it was kind of, I don't know, the weather wasn't good.
Okay.
I don't know, like the Sahara thing. It was.
Oh, yeah. I think I heard a little bit about that.
Yeah. So
but still, it should be warm enough for a lot.
It should be warm, yeah. So it was kind of funny to me when she told me that. She was like, "Oh, today we have the sun. The sun is shining today." I'm like, "Come on, that's Gambia, man."
Yeah, right. Should be always sunny then.
Yeah, it should be, right? Yeah, man. Hey, by the way, my condolences.
Thank you, man.
Your sister, land that you went back, because your sister was involved in an accident.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, that's really heartbreaking. May Allah.
It's really sad, So, but life,
Yeah.
Expect ups and downs.
Yeah.
So those are one of the things that is really unexpected.
Right.
As a family, it was really shocking.
I know. It is.
Yeah, so
I
hope nobody have to experience that.
Man,
it's really tragic.
And it's crazy, because these accidents have been happening in Gambia for quite a while now. A lot of people are actually affected.
From my observation, it's becoming a daily thing now. Things would escalate. Like you drive a car, it starts from 0,
right,
and then eventually you get to 90, 100, and wherever you want to go. So Gambia is going to that direction. If you look at it, just a couple of months ago, we were number 5 in the entire world in terms of accidents.
Accidents?
Yeah, but like
number 5.
That was a few months ago, but now we are number 4 in the world as of 2020. So if you live in Gambia, your likelihood of dying in an accident is way higher than a lot of countries. So it is amazing.
What causes that? I know, the traffic control in Gambia, is really, really poor. But do you think, I understand the government too has a role to play in that, because they should implement laws or traffic laws and stuff. I know, I'm not saying it's not there, but it should be strict. But when it comes to people, to our, attitude towards, driving, in terms of driving and other things, don't you think, people play a lot?
I think in any functioning system, there has to be a shared responsibility.
Right.
I think every stakeholder, has to play their role. Government being a stakeholder, the pedestrians, the cyclists, the motorists.
Right.
Every single person has a role to play in this. But I think the stakeholders that has the biggest role to play is the drivers. Like you said, the attitudes. We have the biggest role to play, because at the end of the day, government is going to create rules and regulations, and they're going to try to enforce it.
Right.
But that enforcement, guess what? Even here in the US, people have to abide by rules and regulation even when no one is watching. Mm-hmm. So I think Gambia, that is what is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
I know even here I see it, but in Gambia it's an extreme. People don't abide by rules and regulations. Because it happened to me recently when I went to Gambia. I was driving from around traffic light towards Senegambia. This is at night, around 12 to 1. And guess what? Somebody just tried to overtake me. This is a dark road. At night, it's really, really dark. If you're not familiar with the road, you can barely drive faster. Wow. Because I was in my, perception of the road. I don't have it mentally in my head, how to navigate. So I was driving slow. Well, not that slow, but I was going with the speed limit. Somebody just came and passed me like 75 miles an hour.
That's crazy.
That's at night. So this is what causes a lot of accidents in the Gambia. The attitude of the drivers at the time, aggressive driving. You'll be driving in Gambia, you're only driving like 60, 70 miles, 25, 30 miles an hour, and then somebody who's coming on the way is expecting you to stop.
That's crazy.
I think that is, a couple of factors, but I think the biggest stakeholder that need to take a lot of responsibility is the drivers. Or are the drivers. The driver you have behind a wheel. You have a car, that is 4, 5, 6,000 pounds heavy. If you hit somebody or hit another car that is another 6, 7,000 pounds heavy, anything that is inside the car, your chances of surviving is going to be very difficult. And like I say, there's so many things, but you will see in the Gambia people say, well, the roads are bad. Well, that is true. The roads are not that good. They're not up to standard. Mm-hmm. But guess what? We see the same roads in the US. Not all the roads are 5 lanes in the US.
Yeah.
We have almost exactly the same roads. Mm-hmm. Somewhere, if you go to some places, you find roads that are really, 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 you have to slow down.
Yeah.
So as a driver, you have to adapt to those road conditions.
Absolutely.
But Gambia people will blame the roads. Well, we have roads. You go to Banjul, the road is actually okay. Brikama, the road is actually okay, even though it's a two-way road. But again, drivers need to adapt. Roads. People also tell you, hey, the vehicles here are not good. The brakes and everything is not working, normally. Well, all of those are true. But if you look at all of these, factors, there is only one common denominator. That is the driver. The driver could be driving a good car on a bad road. A driver could be driving a bad car on a good road. Or a driver could be driving a good car on a good road. And still, accidents are happening. So, the attitude of the driver is definitely has to be questioned here. So I when I went to Gambia, this is purposely to go there for 40 days charity for my sister. But I did a lot of observations in traffic. I drive around to do my missions because I'm scared to actually go out in the traffic, both being a pedestrian or cyclist or a motorist. Right now I can say no one is safe in the Gambia. Everybody, believe it or not, everybody is at risk of being in an accident, which is quite dangerous. People are not slowing down. Every single driver is in a hurry. But everybody's late for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
So I think if there is any culprit, even though considering everyone has a role to play, but the biggest culprit, is the drivers.
I know.
The drivers bear the sole responsibility to save lives in Gambia.
No doubt.
They can change it.
No doubt. That's why you have a driver's license. And I know if you're having your driver, the time you're acquiring your driver's license has laws that, will explain to you how to drive on the road. So if you're not abiding by those rules, I mean, like as you say, they bear the responsibility. because when they are driving, especially a lot of these passenger vehicles, they have like close to 20 something people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
On a van or whatever. So you are responsible for those lives at that time.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You should be very conscious about that. That's huge. No matter what happens, no matter how hurry you are hurry to get to wherever you want to get to. I think the life of the people matter.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
number one.
Yeah.
I remember, man, this might sound crazy, but they didn't happen to me when I was in Gambia a long time ago. I was a teenager, a young boy. So I ran Maroon's supermarket. I was there with my cousin. We was going to secondary, and then this driver, he said he was honking me. And I didn't hear it because it was crowded out there back then. The Bakau taxis. That's where they used to park at. So he said he honked me, and I didn't hear the honk. Now he used his car, to kind of let me know that, hey, there's a car behind you. So he hits me behind my leg, my whole.
Really?
I still remember that I was wearing like a white jean.
That's
the whole
crazy,
jean was like,
that is crazy,
super dirty, like crazy. I was like, wow, it was like a dream. When I turned around, I saw this guy. I'm like, what the heck is happening? I'm sorry, I'm like, what is happening?
Just hit someone with a car.
He hit me. I was flat because I was just standing there looking at him, like stood there looking at him, like, what is happening?
Yeah, that's...
And good thing everybody saw it. The apprentice, the drivers around that area, everybody saw the situation, and then I couldn't even do nothing. I was younger, kind of like. So I was actually looking for, after I got conscious, I was looking for like a stone to
or something
to vandalize or whatever, hit the windshield and stuff. But then my cousin was like, shout out to Alex, DJ Alex. He was like, no, please don't do that. You forget about it. But then somebody did it for me.
Oh yeah.
Those apprentices,
They step in.
They stepped in, man. They started beating the guy up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because it's crazy. You hitting somebody with a car to let them know that, hey, I'm behind you. Really? That's stupid.
And those are all those are all reasons to believe that Gambian accidents are underreported.
Exactly.
Because when I was there, two people told me that someone was driving a cycle and someone was actually trying to cross the road. They get hit by a car, but they feel like they're okay. It was not reported.
Wow.
So only the serious accidents are reported. So that is another scary thing. That means we're not getting the real numbers.
We're not getting
Because in order to get a real number, there has to be a system. But unfortunately, either we don't have a system, or people who are supposed to put in a system are not doing their job. Unfortunately, and it's a very sad situation. If you go out in Gambia, around how do you call it, turntable, around Burfoot, around traffic light, around those around Africell, around Westfield, the traffic there is just mind blowing.
What is that? What causes that? Is it because we have too much cars in there, or the roads are too small, or what's the cause?
I think there is a lot of things that cause that. The traffic congestion, that's one part of it.
Right.
So the congestion part of it, but this is a crazy thing. If you leave those highways and then go and take one of these other roads, they call it backways.
Yeah.
You don't see anybody there. You barely see any car. But the roads are unpaved. They're really, really bad roads. They're not good. If you go there, you're definitely risking your car. But if you look at Gambia, I don't think we can say Gambia we have a lot of cars. To be honest, we don't have a lot of cars. If you look at Gambia, I don't have the numbers, but I can definitely guarantee we don't have more than 100,000 cars in the Gambia. Gambian population, how many people own a car? Somebody can own 3 cars, 4 cars. So the 80-20 rule is applying to Gambia. 20% of the population own a car, and 80% of the population cannot do what they need to do because 20% of the people own a car. If for some reason, because of the chaos, you almost think like we have like 1 million cars, but we don't have a lot. And the proof to that is if you pass Brikama towards anywhere, you barely see any car. You pass Banjul, cross to Barra, you pass that, you barely see any car. There's no traffic congestion. The same thing, you come to that turntable around Brufut, you pass Brufut, go into Tanje, you barely see any car. You know, so where is the cars? Everything is within, you know, traffic light around Bakau, Senegambia. You come to Brufut, you go to Sukuta, Westfield, Taboko, all the way to, you know, Bilkama. That's where you have the entire Gambian traffic. You know, so I think like maybe what the government is trying to put in place might help. You know, try to make other roads paved. You know, but the other danger to that is, you know, like I say, the attitude of the drivers are not going to help.
That has
even you put 20 lane, you know, roads in Gambia, you know, it's going to increase the risk of people dying.
No doubt.
Right now, the way we have it, you know, a lot more people are going to die than, you know. Yeah. Because one thing also I realized, you know, lots of people in Gambia do not understand traffic rules and regulations. And this is the most scary thing for me.
But how do they get their license then?
Well, that's a good question. There is lots of stories out there. But I would talk about what I know. You know, I went through an experience where a couple of years ago I went to Gambia. You know, and people are telling me that there are actually individuals who you can give money to go and then get your license. I wanted to get a license for my little brother. And then they're telling me, oh yeah, you can go to somebody to get your license. I'm like, wait, what?
Oh no.
And come to realize there's lots of drivers. And lots of drivers are on our roads that they never went to any process to get a license. I don't know how they get a license in Gambia, but apparently your license find you at home. That is not a secret in Gambia.
Oh my God.
It's not a secret. So you give a car to somebody to drive on our roads that never went through any process to get a license. I don't know, but who is responsible for that?
It's the government, of course.
Exactly. Yeah. And that brings us to, you know, the question of, you know, accountability in our society. Who is accountable for those deaths on the streets? Because when a driver hits, you know, your family member, you know, I know for sure they get arrested, but at the end of the day, the negotiation is between the family and the driver.
And the driver,
and that is a Gambian society, unfortunately.
They should pay, no matter what.
It is what it is.
I mean, some accidents are unavoidable, but like certain things like
in Gambia should be avoidable.
Should be, because I don't think we have a lot of stop signs, you know, a lot of, you know, traffic lights. Even if it's there, then people don't even.
Stop signs are there, and for me, maybe because I'm used to seeing stop signs here, because I realize
that's why I
even in the US here, when I go to another state, you know, their traffic system and their signs and where they have things is a little bit different, but still I can understand, okay, this is what they're trying to tell me. But for some reason, Gambians, the signs, road signs, I can barely see any when I'm driving. I mean, you have to look around, you have to look really hard to see, and for a driver to look more than 10 seconds away from the road, man, that is
that's there.
That is a lot.
That's nice.
So it's just a mess, you know, to be honest. There is no system in place. You have a bunch of drivers with no, you know, formal driving training or no formal process to get a driver's license on the roads. Because what even blew my mind, you come to a stop or you're driving on the highway. Sometimes the way some drivers come on the road or try to do some, you're like, it's not only that this person is trying to be rude or is trying to be aggressive, he actually doesn't know. No, I'm serious. Because sometimes I will see I'm driving on like in Senegambia highway with almost 40, 50 miles an hour, and then somebody, I'm like right here. This driver is like 10 feet away from me.
So why you damn away?
No, they actually cut you. They just get on the highway. I'm like, this is mind blowing.
It's crazy.
You know, so if you are from abroad, especially in the US, and you know,
things are different.
I think you have to be really careful. If you follow the traffic rules and regulations here, guess what? You're gonna get involved in a lot of accidents.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's just, I mean, it's just a mess.
It is a mess.
It is a mess, and you have hundreds and thousands of, you know, cars on the road. Taillights are broken. No taillights.
Even the brakes, sometimes they will pump the brake.
Oh hell yeah! I've seen that. I've seen that. You know, it's. I think like some of these are not poverty.
No, it's prevented. Like you said, it's prevented. They are prevented.
Absolutely.
Because if you know your brakes are not working,
exactly.
Where do you need to go?
Why are you on
go
the
to the mechanic. You know.
Why are you on the road?
Yeah, you should.
So some of these,
that's dangerous.
And streets, I think that they could be avoidable.
Yeah.
And I see most of the time it's negligence, because what blew my mind, and again, this is based on experience. This is like recently when I was from Gambia. I was driving towards traffic light, from Senegambia towards traffic light,
right.
And there is a police checkpoint. I don't know exactly what they're checking for, but I know there's police checkpoint.
I know that's another thing.
So there is this car in front of me that has their trunk. The trunk is actually they tied with a rope. The trunk of the car is tied with a rope. And this is a passenger vehicle. No, I'm serious. I'm not lying about this. So this guy is in front of me. I was like, okay, well, you're gonna get pulled over. And this dude just came and then say hi to the police, and then he just went. So there's thousands of those on our roads. People with one, the vehicles are coming. They have only one headlight. One headlight.
Wow.
Some the headlights are gone, but they will drive with full light. You see that a lot in Gambia. Everybody's driving in full light. They're just blinding each other. So I think some of these, some I know, because I actually talked to somebody. He thought he should be driving in full light, always. So some of these things, they don't went through the actual formal process of getting a license. Somebody just give you a car and say, hey, start driving. So Gambia, what do you expect from the other driver? I don't know what to expect.
And this is very serious, when it comes to driving.
Oh my goodness.
Driving, life's out today. Yeah. Come on, man. People, you yourself, the driver, the people in your car, the pedestrians, everybody.
Almost 700 people lost their life last year.
In Gambia?
In Gambia. Took accidents.
With our population?
Yeah. So that's why we come to number 4 in the entire world.
That's crazy.
So Gambian roads are one of the most dangerous roads in the world. It is crazy. And when you look at the risk, every day when I get out of the traffic, I see almost an instance where an accident should have happened. Because, well, whatever happened, we're lucky or something. It did not. Because every driver is driving and is not considering the other drivers.
Yeah.
You want to go this way, you go. You don't care if somebody has the right of the way or they don't. So how do you untangle this mess? I don't know. But it is something that is more than concerning. There has to be some kind of, individual responsibility and accountability. There has to be.
Absolutely. There should be rules.
Who's responsible when citizens of the Gambia die on the streets or they're involved in an accident? Who is responsible? Right now, there is nobody who's responsible. Police will come and take a report if you call them.
And if you don't call them,
it's a system that I think, is just a massive disaster. Is just about to happen. It's not a matter if it's one. It's just one.
So now my thing is, the people. I care about the people a lot. So what do you have to tell people in order to mitigate this kind of thing? Because a lot of times people will say, "Oh, the government should do this, the government should do that," but if they're not doing anything, what do you think the people should do to mitigate that? I know we touched on some stuff, but
I think as citizens of the Gambia, as the same people that live in the same country, I think one thing I see that is eroding in Gambia is compassion.
Yeah.
People need to have compassion for each other.
Number one.
You are driving, you're lucky to have a car, good for you. Somebody who is on the roads, the pedestrians, jaywalking, people who are trying to cross the roads, have compassion.
I don't think there's even jaywalking rules in Ghana.
There has to be lots of compassion. And I see a lot, sometimes I'll be driving in the traffic and I see a group of people, they want to cross the road and I will stop. And people will be behind me holding me. I'm like, you're crazy, man.
They're false.
No, really, if I see people, I stop. I tell you to go.
False.
But my only worry is if I tell you to go, I keep pointing to the oncoming traffic. Watch out, watch out. So Gambians need to have compassion for each other. You see people trying to cross the road, stop. Let them go.
Yeah.
You go. Because chances are whatever you are going for, it's not worth to take somebody's life.
I know. That's most.
So I think that's the message I have for drivers. The amount of suffering in terms of accidents, I don't think is necessary. It should have been prevented. Because the reason why I say this, I have been in the military. I have fired different kind of weapons. These are massive weapons.
Right.
I have fired 84 grenade launcher, a lot of things, and you hear a lot of massive noises after you fire those things, right? And to some people those are traumatic. I was involved in an accident here in the US back in 2015, and it was like a 6-car pileup. Somebody overtook me, hit somebody, I hit him, and 3 other cars hit me. But up to date, that sound of the accident,
you still have that.
I still have it in my brain.
Wow.
The crash was the most interesting thing I have been in my entire life.
Yeah, that's
this is considered with somebody who had a lot of weapons and even bombs explode. But my experience during that crash is still bugging me. So imagine somebody who died in an accident. What kind of trauma that person goes through. I think that is the compassion is not there. That is the fact. Gambians, we see ourselves behind a car. I'm not saying this is for everybody. There's a lot of good drivers out there. People who actually will tell you, go. One thing I've seen in Gambia, when a driver is on the side of the road and then I stop and tell them to go, even the drivers that I let them go, they're surprised. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
They're surprised that most of the times you have to force yourself. But when you allow them to go, you can see that they're trying to thank you.
Because that's
what's normal in Gambia.
Yeah.
And we see it here in the US. You go to places where you see it tells somebody to go.
Yeah.
It's always nice to make a little changes on somebody's life.
Yeah.
But compassion is something lacking. That
that's
in Gambia maybe it's me,
though.
but I see compassion is eroding. Drivers need to have compassion for pedestrians.
Yeah.
And if you are a van driver, I think there should be an extra checks in your licenses. Because now you're responsible for 14 people.
Absolutely.
How sure are we that you don't drink the night before or the 2 hours before and come and drive? You're driving 14 people, 14 passengers, 14 lives. You see young Gambians, driving 14 passenger cars. I mean, I'm not saying they should not drive, but are they competent enough to drive 14 people?
Yeah.
So these are all questions that we need to answer.
Do they even know the rules?
You won't know until the day your life is impacted. I was here around 1 a.m. and then...
And the good thing about this thing is like you were always passionate about it.
Yeah.
When it happened, it hits me. I was like, wow, this dude always talk about these things.
I know.
And now it's happening to him.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is, no one is immune. As long as you are in Gambia or you have a family in Gambia, the current trajectory... I hate to tell you, I'm not saying it's going to happen to any family, but it's inevitable.
It is.
It is. At this point, it is. It's not even possible. The way people are driving on the roads, it's not rocket science. Accidents will happen. It's not a matter of if, it's when. You have to adapt to the road conditions. The roads are smaller, you slow down. It's common sense. It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
But you feel your car is superior, or your car is newer, or your car is a 4-wheel drive,
so you should
SUV.
Drive fast.
Seriously, that is how it is.
Yeah.
Other thing that blew my mind is, you see a lot of vehicles when the traffic is blocked. You see vehicles who start to drive on the pedestrian, where pedestrians will drive. Like they leave the entire traffic and just go here and start driving. Taxi drivers, a lot of taxi drivers are doing that. And now I see, how do you call it? Private drivers are also doing it.
Of course.
So all of these,
monkey see, monkey do.
Why are you in a hurry? I know you need to make money, you need to do all that, but it's not worth, to take a life.
No.
You see those people that are in a hurry when you talk to them, they insult you. But guess what? When they hit somebody, they come and beg.
They come and beg. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, come on, you could have prevented it.
And sometimes that's why the way they do the statistics, and especially with Gambia, they say, 700 people died, 650 people died in an accident this year. Oh, that number is not bad. We're improving. No, that is worse.
Are you serious? Even 1%? That's
exactly.
bad. Like,
so the statistics is based on how many people die in a year. I think that should change.
Absolutely.
Because I would give a story here. This is a personal story. My sister's story, who passed away in a car accident. I think like almost 2 months now. The problem is, her husband passed away 2 years ago.
Whoa.
2 years ago, husband passed away.
Oh, I'm
sorry.
And
then, she came back home, living at home, doing her thing, business and all the thing. And then she also lose her life. So the problem is, those two are gone, but now they have kids. Those kids, within 2 years, they lose both of their parents. And to me, that is the most difficult thing for me to accept.
Absolutely.
These are kids.
It's very, very difficult.
See, these are the unseen impacts of accidents. That whoever inflict that pain on that particular family, they don't know how they're gonna go through. They don't care. I'm not saying they don't care, but I don't think they have any solution for you. It's just, hey, we did this. Now it's your problem. So people need to look at all of these things, and it's Gambia. I know people are religious, people are very pious. They will tell you God, God, God.
Yeah.
Allah, Allah, Allah. But at some point, that has a limit.
There has to. Even in Islam, when things like that happen, like manslaughter, you pay something to the family.
Accountability and responsibility.
Yeah, you can't go free like that.
And own their actions. That's why we need to slow down.
Yeah.
It's common sense. Otherwise, you're gonna inflict pain, on a certain person that you cannot take. You cannot actually do anything for them, or only to come and sit and then beg and beg and beg and beg. So I don't know where to start. If I say the government is not doing their job, well, maybe that might be true. But the individual citizens, are we playing our part?
Absolutely.
That is a big question that everyone who is driving need to ask themselves.
It matters. As a good citizen, some of those things should be your priority.
Yeah. I mean, I am here in the US, and I know Washington State here, we have a lot of cars. I don't know how many cars, but we have millions of cars here.
Absolutely.
But I am never, if I get into my car, I never thought, like, if I go out, I would have an accident. I never had a thought.
Yeah, you always have a peace of mind. Like,
correct. But in Gambia, my entire time there, that's way even before my sister passed away. I always feared for my life in Gambia. Because you don't know what to expect. You would see, you are driving on a road, a two-way road, somebody will leave their, instead of going on the right of the way, they will leave that and then start to come and heading towards you.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding. More than 50 miles an hour. And they will put a full light on you just to, I don't know, like just to overtake another driver.
Super reckless, man.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I mean, at the end of the day, whatever you're doing, know that you're putting somebody's life at risk.
Yeah.
And the life you're putting at risk could be your
own. Yep.
So
that's sad, man.
The country, the situation is interesting.
I can't imagine, like, over here. When you say it, people trying to be like, oh, you're trying to equate Gambia and America. But come on, they started somewhere.
I know, yeah.
It didn't happen overnight.
No,
they laid
it doesn't take one day to go wrong.
To make sure that people understand that how dangerous these things are. Because I remember, one time, I went to a place and I parked recklessly. I was in a hurry. I was like, you know what? Let me just, I parked recklessly. And then police came and then he was like, why you park like this? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I was in a hurry. I got it. Then I wasn't spending more time and all that. He was like, that's crazy. That's recklessness right there.
Absolutely.
He was like,
you can get a citation for that.
Yeah. No, he even told me that I could go to jail for that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. But he told me, he was like, I can take you to jail for doing this.
Exactly. Actions.
And I'm not even driving. I was parked. But I parked wrongly. You know what I mean? So, thinking about that, but then, he was a cool cop, he just advised me, next time don't do this and all that. Not even a citation. So he let me go. But like, that's how serious it is.
I mean, people need to, you have actions and you have consequences.
Right.
You choose at the time when you are behind a wheel, to go at a certain speed.
Right.
That is your choice.
Absolutely.
Even though the rule and regulations say you should go with the speed limit, but you choose to go with that particular speed, whatever it is, under the speed limit or above the speed. Most of the time, it's going to be above the speed. That is you choosing that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's forcing you to do that. That's a choice. So any choice at any given time should have consequences.
Consequences, yeah.
So
no doubt.
if you take the right choice, go with the speed limit, guess what? You get to your destination. You go to bed. No police officer is going to come and knock your door. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you choose not to do that, you go above the speed limit, well, police officers need to go and weed you out of the public, and then you face the law. This is how societies become society.
Society, yep.
You know what I'm saying? You cannot allow everybody to do whatever they want to do.
Whatever they want to do, no. That's why we have
reckless,
laws.
It's crazy, it's dangerous, because
Absolutely.
innocent people are going to lose their life, and most of the times nobody cares. Because I know if the president of the Gambia, I wish him well, I'm not saying it, if the president of the Gambia has an accident, the whole country is going to be concerned. They will know about it.
Yeah, and every citizen is important. I know the
Exactly.
president is
You are the president, you're not important than an average citizen.
Absolutely.
So unless Gambia thinks like this, stuff like this, we have a lot of families that are hurting. The system is designed to oppress them. Imagine some families, you take their breadwinner away from them.
I mean, oh man.
How many people are dying from accidents? It's just almost it's just, we are talking about this. Guess what? Tomorrow, but before we even wake up. And one thing also blew my mind. I have seen a couple of accidents when I was in Gambia, at least 2 for sure. And I didn't see them. It happens. Then I saw them.
You saw them, okay.
But I did not see them on any news, either the Facebook newses or Gambia. No.
People are probably used to that kind of thing.
It's becoming normal.
It's becoming normal.
We're numb to it. It's just like, you remember the mass shootings in America before all of this coronavirus stuff?
Oh yeah.
Mass shootings would happen, almost every month.
Every month, yeah.
It went at a point where if they say it's a mass shooting, I'm like, oh God, again.
Okay.
So we become numb to it. And Gambia, that's what is happening. These massive accidents they're happening at a rate which, we are number 4 in the world, and everyone is acting like it's normal. So who is actually doing something to say that this is at least coped? And you will say the National Roads Authority or the police or this, right? In my personal judgment, I don't see any improvement. So what are they doing?
Yeah.
So authorities have a bigger role to play. They need to put rules and regulations. But if you put rules and regulations, you have to enforce it.
Absolutely.
If you start a project management, you initialize a project.
Yeah.
If you say, I want to build a road, you build a road. But somebody has to come up with the idea how to build a road. You initialize the project, right?
Right.
And then once you agree that this is how it should look like, you go into planning phase. How are you going to execute that road? Once you're done with planning, then you go to execution. You build the road as it should be. But after building the road, you don't just stop there. You monitor the project. You monitor the project to see what are the constraints, what need to change. You monitor, you adapt, and finally you can close. But Gambia, if you look at a lot of the facets in our society, we are very good at identifying problems. We can say, well, this is our problems. But sometimes we're good at planning, but our executions are always very lacking. In every sector. When you say execute something, I don't know why, but that need to be checked. We can initiate. We're very good at initiating something, but we can plan also, but we don't know how to execute them. So if you don't know how to execute them, then definitely you're not going to monitor them. If you don't know how to monitor them, then you're not going to close it. So there's so many open projects, so many open things in Gambia. I don't even know who is responsible for those things. Who is monitoring our roads daily to make sure whatever is affecting people yesterday doesn't happen today? It's not that. You go to turntable around Bursubi. That roundabout. I don't know, man. That is the massive bottleneck right there. Traffic doesn't move. it takes you 40 minutes to get to that roundabout if you're coming from Senegambia sometimes. So who is thinking logically that this is an actual bottleneck, is slowing down the flow of traffic? Because something has to be done about it.
There's no regulations.
Yeah.
As you said, people will force themselves instead of waiting for the traffic light or the stop sign. Yeah. So obviously, that's what's going to happen.
It's a mess that I think every citizen need to be worried about, because it's a situation. It's a situation that you say, well, if I'm not affected, I won't care. I was passionate about it before I lose a family member, and I'm even more passionate about it now that knowing the risks are actually real. Risk a future event that would happen. It could be good, it could be bad. But Gambia, the risk in traffic is the highest I have ever seen with my naked eye. I have
everybody talks about it. Everybody, people who lived here, like diasporans, even these African Americans going back, they always talk about it. The traffic is crazy. It's very crazy. We need to try to mitigate that. Honestly, it's important. To me, it's number one important thing, because car is a thing that it's a man-made thing. If for me as a pedestrian, if I'm walking, I probably have control over whatever my arms, whatever the movements I have control over them. But the car, you can't rely 100% on the car.
No,
because it can fail at any minute.
Precautions,
yeah,
absolutely. Slow down. It's common sense. Even you slow down, even there's an accident, the impact and the consequences are going to be limited. Chances are you're not going to hit. If you hit someone that's 70 miles compared to 20 miles, the damage is going to be higher. So I think, like I said, there is no way you can unpack what is happening in Gambia, but everybody has a responsibility.
Absolutely.
The government has a role to play. The police and everybody has a role to play. Even the people walking in the street.
Yeah, the pedestrian. Because sometimes you'll be like, but somebody's going to tell you that.
The brake fails.
If that happens,
you're gone.
You're not going to be there to explain whatever you're going to do. Somebody's going to do that for you, probably.
We all need to adopt.
Yeah, we got to.
No road condition, no road condition. But the biggest burden of responsibility is the drivers.
It's the drivers, number one.
Because you alone, you can save a lot of lives. The people that are in your car, in the pedestrians and the other driver on the street. So
be conscious about
compassion too, like I said, is eroding in Gambia. Have compassion of each other. Most of the times you go and find a deadlock traffic, jam. Guess what? Two drivers are there. They're not going to let each other to go. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
Somebody has to always compromise and then allow somebody to go. If somebody's in a hurry, allow him to go, so that nobody would get hurt. Those are my personal observation in Gambia. And unfortunately, man, no one is looking out for an everyday person who is getting into those vans, getting into those taxis. Who is looking out for you? Who's making sure those drivers are accountable for their actions?
For what they're doing.
I don't see it there.
Oh well, thank you so much, man, for this. This is an emotional topic, because it's happening every day. People are losing their lives. People are handicapped. People are, a lot of things are happening. It's like, as you say, young kids, young children are losing their parents.
Absolutely.
And now the burden is on the family.
And
if the family is not strong,
you sign up to be Minister of Roads and Infrastructure, whatever, National Road Authority, a police officer, a traffic police officer. You choose the path. That is your responsibility for Gambians to be safe on our roads. So any action you do that is counterintuitive to that, you have something to answer. But again, Gambia accountability and responsibility is something that is not in our society, unfortunately. So nobody's accountable for anything. You can go to Gambia and do a lot of crazy things there, and you can get away with it. People will actually tell you that.
You can do this and get away with it.
It's Gambia. They will tell you, don't worry, you can get away with it. But it's unfortunate, though.
It's unfortunate, and then I would say, hey, I'm appealing to everybody, the drivers, as you said, the drivers, the pedestrians, everybody, government, people who have the authority to, even the parliamentarians, man. They are the lawmakers,
Absolutely.
We should enforce laws, and then people too should understand that, this is about us. It's about our lives, I might be driving and then thinking, I don't care about whoever is on the road. Like as you said, the next person you're gonna hit might be your own. In Gambia, we are all related. You go to the funeral, you meet your cousin and be like, oh, So we are related. You know what I mean? So it's not even that. Human soul is powerful. It's very, very, very.
I think what is a Gambian life worth?
Yeah. It can be
at this point it's almost nothing.
Nothing.
You can go to Gambia and die, nobody even cares.
Yeah.
But people care. After the 40 days, people forget about you.
That's sad.
But like I think we forget about the parliamentarians. I think Gambia, there is one observation. I think that is me. If you become a public servant, your personal interests become a secondary priority.
Yeah. No
Whatever
doubt.
your job is, that is your most important priority. I was in the military, but the safety and the well-being of my troops are my priority. If I go to drills, if I go to work, I forget about my own individual priority. How are those people safe? How to make sure they have everything that they need.
That's why you're there.
But Gambia, you are a public servant. You behave as if you own that particular post. I don't know. When you say these things out there, people are gonna think you're rude, you're this and that. But again, if we want to be a society, we have to change. We have to change, and change starts with me, not with somebody else.
Nah.
I can't expect police officers to change if I want to go there and then bribe them with $2,000.
Yeah.
If they look around, they're gonna be like, you know what? Just give it to me.
Give me,
So we always talk about bribery, corruption. But the other side of corruption is bribery.
I always say this. I always say this too.
Yeah.
Everybody almost is corrupt if you see it in Gambia because as you say. If I go and I want to, go maybe on an institution and I want to acquire something, I don't want to stand on the line and see people out there and then go there and then see somebody, my classmate, why you here?
I know. The next minute you're gone.
So and then I'm like, so those bunch of people who are there, I ignore them. I'm corrupt.
Exactly.
Go somewhere I want to get it, faster, $20. I'm corrupt. I'm still standing there, sitting there, blaming the government of corruption.
We normally blame our public officers.
They are from us.
But I think citizens also have
absolutely because they're from us.
To give bribe.
Yeah.
You not willing to give bribe that is gonna make something not to happen. Well, it won't happen.
Won't happen. Yeah.
We need to stop giving bribe. If somebody tell you to give them bribe, get your camera out. Gambia, we are tired of this. Hiding or not wanting to talk about something, our own issues. It is only in the Gambia that we know this is a problem. We can describe a problem, like I said to you here, all these traffic issues, but nobody want to take it to the right authorities. Or everybody's just leaving our problem there. It's not going to get solved. No. We have to solve our problems.
Absolutely.
How do we solve it? Talk about it and then take actions.
Take actions, yeah.
Bribery, say no to it. A police officer pulling the traffic, let's go to court. Very simple. Give me a ticket, go to court.
Go to court. Let's go to court.
Very simple.
Yep.
But we need to stop doing this.
Yep.
Otherwise, somebody's going to lose their life, and it could be because of your actions. And I don't know.
It's
but
crazy.
There's always two sides to a coin.
Always.
Corruption is there, but somebody's actually giving the money.
Yeah.
So
the attitude.
What if that person is corrupt? What are you?
What are you?
So I think sometimes also it's a lot. Most of the Gambians want to come and bribe somebody.
It's kind of like
this happens to me in a very recent experience. This coronavirus test. When I went there, I had to take a coronavirus test. I took the test today, which took forever, and the next day I went there to get my results, and it's taking forever just to get the results. Which is normal in Gambia. But what blew my mind, I was chatting with one guy. He's a driver, waiting for somebody. It's a lady. I think he drove one of his boss's wife there, something like that. He's from Bukama. I couldn't remember the name of the guy. And we were there. We were waiting till 12, around 1. And then he got a call. This guy got a call, and then he called the lady. They went to the car, and I see somebody walk out, go to the car, and then they left. So what does that mean?
Wow.
So these are the kind of things that is the reality in Gambia. We need to treat everybody equally. It doesn't matter. A common person on the street should be treated equally as a minister. And I told you recently I've been reading a lot about Rwanda.
Right.
I read about the Justice Minister of Rwanda in 2019. Rwanda has this electronic traffic system like America.
Right.
They have cameras. If you overspeed, they can send you a ticket. They will send you a text message that, hey, you need to go pay your ticket. That's how advanced Rwanda is. Kigali is becoming. Wow. So Justice Minister, one day he was driving, and then all of a sudden he got a tax that, hey, you need to go and pay your ticket because you were caught over speeding. And the Justice Minister went public, and he was so proud of Rwanda, knowing that the system is actually working. When you can get public officers, the Justice Minister accountable, go pay your ticket.
Can you
imagine?
Be like, they're like,
so
why you stop me?
We have to be a society, or we be a corrupt, society, a banana republic, But most of these things, I think, is we citizens need to change.
Absolutely.
And when we change, we hold our public officers to a higher standard. And obviously, guess what? They will all align because they will know that the citizens actually understand their right. You cannot change the entire country. Studies have shown that in order to effect a change, in terms of percentage, you have to be able to get 25% of people to change. Say we have
to start somewhere.
If we have 100 people in this house here, at least you need 25 people to accept the change, to say, you know what, okay, I accept whatever change you want to effect. Then that 25% obviously would eventually spread it to the rest of the 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if I adapt to that, it's obvious there's some people out there who look up to me.
Absolutely.
So if they see me following whatever, they will follow as well.
It's contagious, man. It takes only one driver. Stop driving crazy, slow down, do everything, follow the rules, and then people will say, you know what? Let me follow the rules. If a driver come in and then see 100 cars are following the rules, everybody's lining up, they will not leave the road and then go. Change will eventually come. People will see this is not normal. You do something, hey, this is not acceptable here. But even when you go there, people are flooding these rules here and there. It's contagious. You say, you know what? Everybody's doing it. Let me do it too.
Yeah.
So, this is how, Gambia is, and then we have the power to change it, but we don't understand the power we have as a people. It is really simple to change Gambia.
It is.
It's not, people always think, when they build roads, government always, the metrics is, they build roads, they build schools, they build these things, but the system is not there. That is not development. Is a lot more than infrastructure. Until we understand that, we will not be functioning as a society.
Absolutely, man.
I think we're going over our time, but we can talk about this the whole day.
Yeah, we can talk about this the whole day, man. I thank you so much, man, for this. It is really sad, but
unfortunately, it's reality, man.
That's the reality. But I think we need to talk about it, as you said. We need to have a conversation about it. Different platforms. Everybody should talk about it. Because it's a national responsibility.
Absolutely.
Especially people who are outside, they know the rules already. So more of those kind of people should come out, and even if they go there, they should be able to educate the people, talk to people about their rights, about the dangers, because it's apparent out there. It's there already. We've seen accidents. We've seen people are dying of it. It should be easy for
take number plates.
Yeah.
If you see somebody being reckless on the streets, take their number plates. Go to the next police station.
It's your citizen.
If the police don't do anything about it, you as a citizen, that is your right.
Even I don't think Gambia have citizen arrest rights.
I would think,
but they should.
Absolutely.
They should.
As a patriotic citizen,
they should.
I see somebody, you are putting another citizen's life at risk. What is the essence of masking up? Hey, be a good citizen and save your fellow citizen's life. That is it. Because coronavirus, you can have it, I can have it, and then it won't affect any of us. But we're gonna give it to somebody that's gonna kill.
They're gonna kill, exactly.
So Gambia, unless we have this kind of compassion and then willing to go out of our comfort zones and then talk about these issues and then take it to the door of the people, that are responsible. You say you are a police officer. Well, you are a police officer. Did anybody force you to be a police officer? No.
Nobody.
You cannot force anybody to give you a bribe. If they ask you to give you a bribe, take a camera out.
Take a camera out, yeah.
If that's not enough, take it to their boss. I'm sure if we all do that, there will be an effective change.
Because they will know.
And sometimes also, this is both ways. Like I said, police will just pull somebody. Before they even talk, somebody say, oh.
Yeah. I've seen it so many times.
At that point, who is the bad person?
Yeah.
Under the eye of the law, you are the one who initiates.
Because sometimes the police even will say nothing. You know, by law, you know, it's not enough. Because
so as citizens, you know, we need to stop that. And I think police also should be honorable.
They should.
You know, anything you do, you should do with honor. If somebody give you $50, you say no, because why? You could kill my wife tomorrow. You could kill my kids tomorrow. And this is how we need to think about this.
Exactly.
You know?
People thinking are so narrow when it comes to that. People don't think about that.
When I heard about this story, people who are helping, who are, you know, accepting bribe, or who are doing all this, they call it rabba, and giving people licenses. Yeah. Imagine you knowing somebody died because you helped them to get a license, not to go through the process. Yeah, man. It's happening. It's crazy. This is the fact about it. I don't know if I can sleep, you know, thinking about that. I mean, you know, that's a very important point. I always say that the people say, oh, even the police, you know, they don't get paid. They're paid, their salaries are small, that's why they're doing that. But what I'm saying is, if they are doing the right thing, they'll make sure everybody who breaks the laws, traffic, especially traffic laws, are accountable for, paid for, go to the court, pay, give you a citation, and you pay for it. Absolutely, it's only right that their salary is going to go high, going to go up, because what that entails is because they bring in income to the department. So it's obvious that the department is going to pay them. And now if they are doing that, they're not paying as they should supposed to be paid. Now the department should be questioned for that. And who's supposed to do it? They can rally, you know. Yes. And then, we as a country, you know, we have a potential that I think is untapped, is unseen. People don't realize it. You know, we're not, you know, self-aware of what we can do. But any sector, I know we're only talking about police department, but any sector you go into Gambia, there is few things that I see that are lacking. You know, work accountability, supervision, you know, and planning. Okay, why people are coming to work at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock? Who is making sure those workers are accountable? Who is monitoring those people to make sure they do what they need to do? Who is monitoring these traffic police officers to make sure, hey, you know, you make sure, because there has to be a supervision anywhere you go. But you go to Gambia, you go to some department, you barely see any supervisor. Who is responsible for this? Who's making so everything goes smoothly? You go to banks here. We go everywhere. You see supervisors. Right. If something doesn't go the way you expect, I want to talk to a supervisor. Go to Gambia and tell that to them. I want to talk to your supervisor. It's not there. So I don't know where to start when you talk about Gambia. But this particular subject that we are talking about, Gambia, the traffic is a mess. You know, it is a mess, and I at this point I doubt the authorities have a solution or have a way to go about it, how to fix it. You know, so that's why citizens need to step up.
Step up, yeah.
You know, everybody play your part. You know, if you want to, you know, hold a rope, you know, to form a line, it has to be held on both sides. You know, if the government is not holding their side, then people can say, hey, you guys need to do better. The roads are not good, and they will not change tomorrow, even in the next 10 years. They will not all change. So citizens need to step up and save each other's life. Yeah. If you see somebody driving recklessly, take their number. Don't confront them, because people are aggressive. Take their license plate, take it to the next police station, and see if they will do anything about it. And if a police officer, somebody brought something to you and they tell you, hey, you know, this is a driver who's been acting rude, reckless on the street, people putting other people's life in danger, and I have a video here. If you don't do anything about it, then that is your responsibility. You know, that is you as a police officer not executing your duties. You know, bring charges to that person.
Absolutely.
Take them to court.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying you go on there and say, well, I have a video now, you need to give me a bribe, because that's how the system works.
Absolutely.
Let's have decency. Let's bring some hope to the kids that are coming up. I don't think our lifetime, most important all of these are going to change.
Yeah, the kids shouldn't be growing up and seeing all these things. I think
the generation is coming after us.
Yeah.
You go to Gambia, it's kids everywhere.
I think Gambia, the population of young people under 25, I think 62 point. The last time I was reading it, 60. That's a lot, man. And
this is true for majority of Africa. Africa has a younger population, and some studies have shown that's why coronavirus is not impacting us like it is. But it's true. If you go to Gambia or the older population above the age of 63 is only 4%. And when you say 4%, 4%, if you look at the statistics. But it makes sense. You can go to
What's the life expectancy in Gambia?
63.
63?
I think somewhere, last time I checked it, around 63. No, actually, no, 37 or something. But right now, I might mess up those numbers. You can look it up.
Yeah.
But the age above 63 is very, very small.
That is very small. Yeah, that's
so,
very small.
But like I said, man, the country, we have a lot of issues, and when I look at it, I don't look at it from a political perspective.
Yeah, no, this is not politics at all. Like,
it's like
we all in this.
The engine of the car is not running, and then you're just putting wheels on it, new wheels on it, and then you push it from behind, and it rolls, and then to a point you're like, oh, okay, you get to a hill, you're like, okay, actually we can't go over here. Why the engine is still broken? But before, the reason why the car was going forward is because you have, you're on a slopey road. That is Gambia. We go, get funds everywhere, loans and funding everywhere. But when those loans and fundings are not coming, well, how are we going to propel our own engine?
And when it comes to this case, though, like I would talk to the human rights activists. We have a lot of activists in Gambia. I don't know. I'm not saying they are not doing it, but I think this should be a priority. For them to go out there and talk to the drivers, because I think the drivers, they have the association there.
Oh, they do.
They should be able. They should be able to talk to drivers. When it comes to passenger drivers, but then and the general public too. People, these kind of things, symposiums or whatever they call it, should happen. Sensitizing people about traffic, about how they should protect others' lives, other people's life. I mean, it's sad, bro.
No, it's really sad, and the attitude of if I'm not directly impacted, I don't care.
That's huge.
It's gonna finish the Gambia.
That's huge.
Because guess what? Tomorrow you're gonna get impacted, and then somebody else will not care. So I think these are the kind of things that if you want to be a country, those things we need to change. No politician is gonna come and change that.
No. We have to change ourselves
are gonna come in, and then before they even settle down, it's gonna be a lot of chaos. But these are things that we have control over. The country can run smoothly.
No doubt.
People don't have to die.
Absolutely.
Traffic could be better. People are complaining that there's a lot of cars. There is not a lot of cars in the Gambia. You go to Westfield or you go to Cooperative, you find taxi drivers all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Those are the causes of traffic jam. It's the individual behavior. It's not like, I don't see any reason why there should be a traffic jam in Gambia. Because there's not a lot of cars. Any given time in those on those from Banjul to Serekunda to Birikamo to Sukuta to Senegambia, there's not more than 10,000 cars on those streets. I don't think so. Because that is like 22-kilometer road. So why there should be a traffic jam in the Gambia? It's the attitude of the people. People are aggressive. You want to get to Tanje within 10 minutes and you don't care at the expense of who? And this is crazy. So if people don't want to change, guess what? They need to be consumed by the law.
I know.
Police officers, 22 kilometers of road. How about every 1,000 kilometers you have police officers there? Build something nice for them. Say they don't have to be in the sun. Enforce the law. You can see the traffic, almost 100 meters away. Look for drivers who are not behaving correctly. Pull them over.
I mean, it's got when you talk about A, you have to talk about B. For the police to, it's got to be something that it's gonna worth for them to be a policeman. They have
to get paid.
You know what I mean? Absolutely.
I don't know, man.
But notwithstanding, long as you in that uniform, it's the law that puts you. That gives you that.
I was a service member, and one thing I realized about being a service member in America is respect.
Respect, yeah.
You put on that uniform, the amount of respect you have on the streets is just amazing.
Yeah.
The public confidence, especially in American military, is above the it's more than 100% for sure.
No doubt.
But that's public confidence in government police officers, I think it's very low. If you tell somebody, hey, you run into an issue, can I leave you with this police officer, or can I go? They will tell you, don't leave me with this police officer. That's how bad the public confidence is in police officers. So if anyone who is leading that institution, your first responsibility is to restore public confidence. How do you do that?
Yeah.
Well, you don't go around, harassing everybody. You don't go around, putting checkpoint on expected checkpoint everywhere. Be consistent. Be consistent in whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? Have regular checkpoint. Have patrols. I don't understand it. Government police, there is no patrol. Be in the traffic. That's when you see things. people would behave, crazily. Now they know that there's a checkpoint. They say, "Oh, okay, let me put on my best face."
And you already most of the time you already know where the checkpoint is.
So I don't understand why they cannot provision 10, 20 cars.
Yeah.
And have the police the cars. That's their job. But if they're sitting in a station to wait for somebody to come and tell them this is what is happening, I don't know how productive. That is reactive policing. We have this in IT. We are proactive about everything. Shut down fires before they even start. When you wait for fire to start and you want to shut it down,
prevention is better than kill.
So I don't know why that kind of policing. We thought, oh well, that is difficult.
That's difficult.
Speed. Speedometers. There should be. Speed guns. Those are. I look it up on before I go to Gambia. I look it up on eBay, on Amazon. It was like $30-$40. So some of these things, somebody doesn't have a plan on how to run these institutions. But if they do, they understand what they're doing. It's not difficult to do this.
Shouldn't be.
You're gonna cut hundreds of drivers, and they're gonna pay a lot of money. They pay once, twice. They're gonna know. Okay, know what? Let me get out. This is
gonna be saving lives as well.
This is gonna bring a lot of revenue for police officers. But Gambia,
look at here. Like you're gonna have. You can have a ticket. Okay, probably you may be like, okay, long as I'm paying money, I'll drive the way I like to drive. But it's gonna affect your record. It's going to affect. At some point, you're going to lose your license.
Exactly.
You won't be able to drive.
You become a repeat offender.
Yeah.
You get weed out of the traffic.
There's consequences. Either ways. Whether financially or at some point you're not be able to drive.
I'm not saying Gambia, you can roll this out to the entire Gambia. But there has to be a system.
It has to start from somewhere. And
then expand it.
Expand it. Expand it, man. Let's hold it right there because we're gonna have a second session in where I'm planning to have a big what they call it again, panel, where we're gonna talk about these kind of things. Everybody's gonna have their own, experiences. They tell their own stories when it comes to this kind of thing. So we're gonna do it again.
Let's talk about it
because this thing, is something that we need to talk about all the time.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm appealing to all the people out there who are having platforms, to talk about this kind of thing. The activists, Gambian activists, talk about it. Have a conversation with regular people in the streets. Go in the street, go on the streets, my brother. Go out there, give people flyers, talk to people. You know what I mean? You gotta sensitize, bro.
I also saw this program on QTV. I don't know which one, but there's this guy who will go on the street asking people, how many batutes are in 1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's stupid, but it's what I'm saying. Those are answers that you have to. Well, give me a calculator. I'll calculate it. But how is that going to benefit an average person?
Yeah, an average person, yeah.
Well, if you know how many producers and $1,000 is, how is that going to benefit me?
Yeah, you got to do something that's going to benefit.
What I'm saying? I know these things are funny.
Yeah.
They're trying to test people. And you don't know that people say you're not intelligent.
Yeah.
But how about you change that program so it can benefit the citizens?
Citizens, exactly.
Ask drivers.
Yep.
If somebody come to this stop, ask them questions.
What are you going to do?
Yeah. That is gonna save somebody's life.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
Because if a driver doesn't know that answer, it's gonna kill somebody.
It's gonna kill somebody. There's high chance that
those are things that they need to be. They need to go out and test drivers.
No doubt.
I think that program. I'm not saying it's funny. It's all good, but it's funny and cute. But
I mean, in this day of time, in day and age, internet is something that a lot of people are learning things from. I think, when you are having those kind of platforms, it should be educative, like you said. It should be something, it should be funny, of course. It should be entertaining. But, it should be something that the citizens are going to benefit from.
I don't know. I would find out the program, the actual network that is doing that. And I'll be willing to sponsor at least 1, 2, 3, 4 episodes.
Yeah,
no doubt. I don't know exactly which, but I will find out.
I mean, you know what?
Go on the streets.
Why don't we do that?
There you go. Let's find somebody.
We'll find somebody in Gambia. Hey, if you're watching this in Gambia, you have a platform. We wanna sponsor that.
I know.
Yeah, PeerTalk will sponsor that. No doubt about that. You know what I mean? Just reach out.
Drivers. And the other thing that is interesting to me, why are people driving on the pavements? Why are people driving on pedestrians? Pavements. Dude, that is a big deal now. Around turntable, when the traffic is jammed, these people will leave the road and start driving on the streets.
Oh no.
No, seriously, you know, and it would be horny. And why is everybody also horny? You want to understand these things, you know? And Gambia, like some of these places you go, so much horn that
it's annoying.
You even there is so much stress on the brain, man.
No doubt.
I mean, you get used to it. Once, like after 1 week, I'm like, okay, I'm. But the toll on the brain, you know what I'm saying?
That's gonna affect your
I want to. We need to understand what they're thinking. Go to Westfield. Go to where you ask drivers, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this on the camera? Why are you in a hurry? You see a driver, a taxi driver, and I've seen this multiple times. They'll be driving this way and they're looking for passengers on the opposite side of the road when you should be looking for passengers here, right? And then they see somebody coming off a junction. They say, hey, you know, Serakuna, whatever. And then the person say yes. Guess what they do? They're not going to go this way and wait for the driver. They just cut everybody, go pick the passenger, and then come back on the traffic and go again.
Wow.
This is insanity.
That's insane, brother, man. We can't talk about it.
But we need to sponsor that. Let's find somebody.
Hey, man,
go to Gambia and
if you're watching this and you're a YouTuber in Gambia, reach out. PeerTalk, reach out, man. We will sponsor the whole episode, you know, about this topic that we're talking about. You go out there, talk to the drivers about traffic, about, you know, some of the traffic questions. You know?
Absolutely.
We might give you questions even.
Take a Gambian
we might give you our own
regulations,
questions,
a book or whatever.
Yeah, Gambia traffic, exactly. That's a better way of doing it.
On live camera. And let's see how many of them can answer those questions. And I bet, you know, maybe 3, 4, 5%. You know, it is crazy.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it, you know, in a lot of societies, when, like, I think Gambian are very family centric. Anything that is not affecting your family, you say, oh, alhamdulillah, I'm okay.
I'm okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People would, if there's something wrong in their family, they will do everything to fix it. But now there's something wrong in our country, people are like, well, that's government. Who is government? Even if you go to ministry, I'm not government, go to the president. You go to the president, like, well, I don't have time for this. Even the people that are responsible for those things, they will tell you, well, I'm waiting for an order from somebody else. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy.
So I think like we need to come in together as Gambians, solve this problem.
So yep.
You know, and honesty is
no
where
one
it
is gonna
starts.
do it for us,
You know,
man.
we accept that we have a problem, and then figure out how to
solve that problem. You know,
I think we went way over our time.
I know, right? Yeah, but you know, it's important. You know, it's really, really, very important. You know, to talk about these kind of things. You know what I mean? As I said, we need to talk about this. All y'all YouTubers out there, if you out there, you know, you're watching this. All right, like I said, all you YouTubers out there, you know, if you're watching this, or if somebody's watching this who knows a YouTuber, tell them, man, let them reach out, you know, to PeerTalk. We would definitely sponsor that, you know, episode, you know, because it's important, you know, be all in this together. You know, our families, our countrymen, everybody's affected. You know, and it's high time for us to talk about this. And if you're a YouTuber, you have a platform, talk about it. Talk about it. We need to talk. You know, especially living in the diaspora, you know, the system out here. We're not saying 100% to take the system which is here, but these kind of things are obvious, you know. It's things that we need to talk about, man. We need to save lives. It's very, very, you know, heartening. It's sickening to know somebody got killed because of reckless driving. Man, that's crazy. You know how hard that is? As he said, Seiko said it here. Who's gonna be affected? You know, if one person died, the whole family is going to be affected by this. And most importantly, their family, their kids, they're leaving behind. You know what I mean? You don't want to see that. You don't want to experience that. You don't want your family to go through that. So you know what I'm going to say? Share this video and let's keep the conversation going. See ya.